welcome. Yes, welcome to Move Around with Deborah. So glad to have you here today. Oh, we've got a full day for you. Oh my goodness. So make sure you got that pencil and paper together as we get started with Move Around with Deborah and the female solution. Yes. Are you ready? I hope so, because we are here with a jam packed day or afternoon or hour of information. And I want you to be prepared. Get the family, call a friend, and join in to Move Around with Deborah and the female solution.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution.
That's right. We are here today. I'm so excited. I am so excited. You wouldn't believe how excited I am. There's so much going on. Oh, just in the last hour. Well, hello, welcome everyone. My name is Deborah, and you have joined us at Move Around with Deborah. Now, let me just give you a little bit about me. I'm a travel advisor whose mission is to increase awareness and knowledge of the travel industry and introduce people of all ages to the joy and safety of travel. You know, travel has got its ups and downs, but when you're aware and when you plan, you can travel with joy, excitement, and safety all around the world. Now, we like to come to you because this is all a part of education. And I feel as though that travel is the most educational platform in the world. I mean, think about it. You can apply travel to everything. I can. Just give me a topic and I can put some travel to it. You know, with the educational experience and sheer pressure of travel, you can really calm down all the stuff that's going on around you in your mind, in your body. That's right. You can even heal your body because you know having this strong, the strength and the knowledge, you can heal your body. You can heal your circumstances. You can handle what you are going through because we're all going through something. And trust and believe someone else is going through something worse than you. So before we go any further, I want you to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, and enjoy. Learn, grow, and love. Love is the key. And again, tell your neighbor, tell your family, tell your friends, because we're going to be talking about something really excited. Yeah, I hope you have that pen. You should always have that pen, always had that pen and paper. You know, way back in the day, that's all we had was pen and paper. But now we copy and record in various ways. So however you want to do it, I want you to be prepared. Whenever you come into an audience, you never know what you're going to run into. You never know what situation you're going to need that pencil and paper. And so again, get ready. Today, ooh, we're going to talk about the family reunions. There are many types of reunions, but our program today is going to give you a perspective, various perspectives on your travel and your planning aspirations and the tools. Some of the tools is only an hour show. So you're not going to get all of the tools, but it'll give you something to go forward and to make the journey of planning, of fellowshipping, and just building your history. Even if you're one, you came from somewhere. Now we want to make all of this journey memorable. Have you ever looked back and looked at photos and smiled at the joyous times and forgot about the tragedies, forgot about all the traumatic situations, unless that's what the pictures are? Yeah, they have those now too. So again, I want to state out, have your pen here because we're going to go over some points that you are going to need to get you started. And please, in travel, in life, you know changes happen every day. And every day we have to adapt. We can't get frustrated about something that has happened. It's happened, it's in the past. Learn from it, don't forget it. But you've got to use it as a stepping stool to move forward and maybe not make the same mistake. Learn from that mistake. I feel as though you can learn from any situation, good, bad, or indifferent. Always learning. Someone around the world, across the country, who is having an issue that you had heard about, or is having a joyous time that you've heard about, and it affects you. So you don't even have to know the person. And in saying that, also, you never know who's watching you. Folks watch you on a regular basis and never interact personally with you. But they watch you. They watch how you respond. They watch how you act. They watch how you do things. And they learn from it. They learn either to mirror it or, like, that's not what we going to do here. So now, as most of you know, and let me keep up with my time. Most of you know, if you've been here before, you know I love the airport. I think the airport is the first destination of being on a trip, a travel journey. And usually we talk about TSA and what's going on at the airport, how you can find a movie theater at the airport, and how some airports, most airports now have museums. But today, with the climate of the world, I want to just briefly let's talk about the FAA. And you say, the FAA? Yes, the FAA. Is that important to me? Yes, it is. What is the FAA? It is the Federal Aviation Administration. And you say, well, why is that important to me? Well, trust and believe it is becoming important because the FAA is making some changes and it will affect you directly, especially when you're planning a journey. I say that because even just this week, because of changes that the FAA is instituting, your flights are going to be canceled or delayed or just not going to go anymore. There are many changes going on in travel. Uh, in my one of my hubs of O'Hare Airport, oh, and there was some excitement today from a flight from O'Hare to New York. You'll hear about it a little later. But O'Hare now is shifting where my one of my favorite airlines, Southwest, is no longer going to be departing from that airport. The hub in the Chicago area will now still be Midway. So ORD is no longer going to have new flights and for Southwest Airlines, and Midway will handle everything from the Chicago area. You know, the Chicago area has a couple of airports. It has the Rockford Airport, Midway, O'Hare, and then there are some smaller airports that for those of us who are we get those private planes. Yes, you know, in some cases, the private planes for certain situations are just as affordable as the regular commercial flights. Well, they're all commercial, but look into that. So here is the FAA. That's an acronym. You know, we always got those acronyms, but Federal Aviation Administration. And if you're just looking at our screen here, it has where you can hear about aircraft certification, aviation safety, aircraft safety, air traffic. That's something that we're going to talk about because air traffic is happening. Actually, there is some hiring that's going to be done at air traffic control for new air traffic controllers. We all know, if you've heard, we are a little short of them. So there's going to be some extensive trainings. Now, just because they're hiring today or tomorrow doesn't mean that they'll be on staff, because there are some rigorous trainings that go on for air traffic controllers, but airports, pilots, data and research, regulations, space. Yes, you know, there will be commercial travel soon again, starting up for space, and those ever annoying, in some cases, drones. I want you to just to be familiar with this site. And when you first come into the site, if you do faa.gov, remember, GOV identifies this as an official website today. But here's the latest news. Secretary Sean Duffy takes action to prevent endless delays, cancellations at Chicago O'Hare, and proactively move to ensure travel runs a little smoother. And one of the ways that they're going to do that is to eliminate about a third of the flights that are going out. So if you have booked your flights for the summer and even into the fall, check and make sure that that flight is still going out. Also, they're cracking down on those drones, and because drones will interfere. I know drones are exciting, drones are needed in a lot of cases. A lot of folks do a lot of things with drones, but when they infiltrate airspace, it really does something to the travel, and you don't want that to happen. And again, going into here, I just want to go in here just quickly because I saw here in some way here uh, where there's unveiling a new campaign to target the next generation of air traffic controllers. And that's where you get those jobs. Come on, folks, we're going to look for jobs in aviation. And you want to know where you get the training for the jobs in aviation? Well, you can go to many places, many places. Tuskegee Airmen has a youth program. Come on now, let's get our children involved in something. And when you do that, when you change the trajectory, you know, they have summer camps. It's time for this, getting the children involved in a summer camp. When you feed into them a change, something, that will change the whole trajectory of their future. We got to watch out for our children. We got to look out for our children. Come on now. We can't keep messing around and letting our children just go oh willy nilly. No, this is an important thing that we have to look into. Children are our future. And if you don't grab them now, we're going to miss out. They're going to be pushing us around in those wheelchairs and tipping us right over. That's right. Because they're not going to know anything other than tipping us over. So be aware of have, what you have to offer. And even though I'm speaking on to children at this point, but of course, adults, those of you who are not sure what you want to do, who are starting over again in some way, and you still have your wits about you, because you certainly have to have your wits about you when you're talking about anything in the air industry or in most industries. You got to pay attention. Even when you're driving, you got to pay attention. When you're walking, you got to pay attention. You're talking on the phone, you answering the phone, you are filling out forms, or researching online for different things. You got to pay attention. So I want you to pay attention and get busy, get involved, get your cousin, your niece, your nephew, your children, your brother, your sister, the person down the street. Let them know. You can see this show on a rerun, but if you don't see it on the rerun, make sure you go to faa.gov and research it. Be about our business. Okay, it's my break time. I gotta go for just a little bit. I'll be right back. And like I said, have your pencil and paper, because we've got some stuff going on about this family reunion planning. You rather plan a family reunion or a homegoing? Come on now. I said it out loud. Yes, I did. Be back soon.
When you see Black children misbehaving in public, being loud, disrespectful, and destructive, do you think to yourself, what they need is a good beating? That's what's wrong with these parents. They don't know how to discipline their children. Were you disciplined in that way? And did your parents also call you stupid, ignorant, and lazy? That's the way you break a slave. You terrorize them with constant fear of painful punishment. You teach them they're powerless to speak up, and you insult them so they feel like nothing. We were broken by parents who were broken, by parents who were broken. It's time to end the cycle of brokenness and bring healing to ourselves and our communities by using knowledge, respect, and love. We'll show you how. I'm Naima Latif. Get the book Slavery, the African American Psychic Trauma. On sale now. Go to www.naimalatif.com.
That's right. Let's break this stuff up. Welcome back to Move Around with Deborah. And we are talking about getting that family reunion together. Oh my goodness. A lot of times we focus on the family reunion in the summertime. That's not necessarily true. You don't have to wait till the summertime to get your family reunion together, or any reunion of that matter. And I say family reunion because the spectrum is broad for reunions. And I could just go down a rabbit hole with the many reunions that are structured. We got the class reunion, the school reunion, the when we started the work reunion. It's just so much going on. But anyway, we're talking about family reunions today, and it is a lot of planning, but planning must be done to have a successful reunion. And let me say something about the word success. Success is good, and we wish folks much success on their endeavors. But we all know that sometimes that success comes with a little challenge every now and then. So I want you to know that starting out, it could be challenging, it could be daunting, it could be good with one or two people, it could be better with five or six people, depending on how you relate to each other. And I'm not talking about blood relate, I'm talking about mental relate, communication. Of course, we know communication is key in everything. So I just want you to know that we need to come together for our history, to know where we're going, to know how to catapult further. We're continuing to make history. I'm making history right now, being having this show. We can all make history in our own way. If you want to be a loner, that's your lineage, that's your legacy. What is your family's legacy? How do they see you? And I've got a little script to help me because it was oh so much. And I've been part of organizing reunions and meeting planning. That is one of my duties. Other than a travel advisor, I am a meeting planner. So, yeah. And if that's something that you want to do, you're looking for a third job or second job or a job or a career or something to do, that these are careers, these are positions, these are professional positions that you can embark on. You just have to be have your due diligence in when you are working. So now I'm going to share my screen again. Let's see, where am I going? Right here to the Afrocentric. Yes, yes, I did. I used a little helper today because oh my screen is so beautiful. But we're talking about roots and legacies. And this title was just celebrating heritage, honoring generations, building the legacy. And we have to. And these are just some of the ways that you can put your platform together. Like I said, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's an African proverb. So this reunion is talking about celebration of shared roots, our collective strength, and the legacy we're building together across generations, multi-generation. And travel is good when it's multi-generational because you are surprised a lot. We were always surprised about what our elders had to share with us. And every child, cousin, it is everybody has their own little quirk. And when you put it together and you document it by photos or however you want to document it, it is wonderful. So here's just a focus on someone else's option. And this one started in 1920s, but we know that they could start further back, in the 1800s, the 1700s, before time. Well, not before time, but way back. And as far as you can trace. I know some folks look and I save obituaries. And I save those obituaries not for necessarily the morbidity of them in some cases, but for the history. And you can refer back to whose cousin, whose mama, Who was that family belong to? Who did they belong to? Where they come from? But that's considered the foundation, our ancestors. And how did our ancestors move around? I know we traced ours, how they moved from, say, for us from the south to the north, and where they ended up in the north, and now how we're growing stronger. And I remember when my mom uh, was involved in the reunion business, the family putting the family reunion together, and I didn't want to be bothered. It was like, no, that wasn't for me. But now I came to realize the importance. And now I'm trying to instill that in my children. So, generation after generation, we pray for our children and we pray for our grandchildren, our great grandchildren, and the generations to come that we don't know, we won't meet. But just like our generations before us prayed for us. They didn't know where we were going to be or what we were going to do. No, they had no idea. But they prayed still. And then we have to focus on the legacy builders, those who are going to be our future. And they are across the planet. Well, no, wait a minute, hold on. It's across the country, around the world. Let's get that together. It's across the country, around the world. And we want to focus on building and helping them understand the importance. Now, the schedule of events, that's the meat. That's once the planning is already done and whatnot. So typically, and this is typical and typical changes, but we start off on Friday. We have that welcome reception. We check in. Folks get their wristbands. They get their rooms. They check into their rooms if they've come from another part of the country or the world. And we have a meal, icebreakers. Sometimes that's when we do trivia, or we have what is that, karaoke and games and that type of thing. So that's getting together, coming back, rekindling that awareness of each other. And then Saturdays or Sunday, depends on how we plan it. But here it says Saturday is Heritage Day, is how it's labeled. And this is when you do the family photo shoot. Now, understand, we're taking photos from the beginning, check in, all the way till it's time for folks to get on the bus and say, see you later till next year, or taking them to the airport, or however they're traveling. You also have workshops. You're eating again. We're always eating, and then you're fellowshipping. You're having games because typically you're outside. So there's the baseball or the basketball, or swimming if you're nearby, or fishing. We've done that. Then Sunday is the legacy. This is the farewell. This is where we would dress up and have the fashion show and give thanks to everyone who joined. Give gifts for the youngest, or the one who is the oldest, or who traveled the furthest, or had the most family members. And, it just varied. So all weekend you got these ongoing activities. At some point you just hanging out, those who want to hang out after the welcome reception, they do that. Some want to hang out in the community, or whatever city you're in, maybe. And then others want to hang out in the hospitality room and just jaw jack and go head on. You have a dress code, you have a theme. That's in key, having a theme. I love themes. But in this case, they have laid out the themes for each day. And I know this particular schedule of events are just structured for 3 days. But I have found, and I have been involved in where the reunion takes longer than 3 days, especially if you're traveling to a location that you're not familiar with. You want to explore that location. So you might come couple of days prior to, you might, or leave out a couple of days later, or even go on a cruise. That's my best, my favorite. We're going to have a show just for cruising and having events or reunions or that type of thing. The venues, oh, so important. Oh, so important. You typically don't want folks to have to travel too far from one venue to another. It's good if where you're housed, you can have the hospitality or nearby. Of course, typically when you have the outing, that's in a park or something of that nature, or at the zoo. We've had an outing at the zoo once, and that was fun. So that's a little bit of ways. And then the legacy or the dinner, that tends to be closer, sometimes in the same location of where you have a house, the folks at the hotel or something. Again, you don't want people to have to travel too far to get from different locations. So venues are important. And by saying that venues are so important, planning early is extra important. And I want to stop here before we go any further, because of course I got to go back and we got to talk about those commercials. I don't mind, because commercials are important. Commercials is how we share, and ours is not necessarily a commercial, it's an infomercial. Yes. These are infomercials. I love them. But here's another one.
Peace and love. I'm Michelle Renee, host of Education Nation, live on the Female Solution Global Network every second and fourth Sunday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. The intention of Education Nation is to raise awareness about the literacy crisis and to offer information to combat the problem. The goal is to awaken an army of reading coaches and mentors. You will experience guests who are doing their part in the community to ensure youth in their circles are reading and thinking critically. I look forward to serving you in this capacity. Literacy is freedom, and Education Nation will offer information and strategies to help ensure our young people stay free.
Great day. It's your girl Asada, here to introduce a new female solution show called Asada Says. That's right. Every month we're going to talk about everything I am, from cryptocurrency and financial security to good health and parenting strategies. Come on and talk with me every Tuesday morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And let's do that thing the way
I love it. I love it. We're here to educate you. The Female Solution wants to help you in your endeavors to succeed in life. We all need a little help, and it's nothing wrong with looking for help or asking for help. That's the stigma that a lot of folks have. Oh, it's nothing wrong with me. I don't need any help. I can figure this out. You know what? We typically do figure it out, but we need help in figuring it out. It just doesn't fall out from the sky. So we're here at the Female Solution every day to bring that awareness, to be a helpmate to you and your family. Just because the title says the female solution, we know that's the solution, but it also helps the male and the young adults. Yes, we all need something. So share our shows. We're here twice a day, Monday through Friday, and on Saturday and Sunday, once a day at 12 noon Central Standard Time. So I just encourage you. So let's get back. Let's get back to where we are talking about planning this family reunion. Oh my goodness. So again, we talked about the entertainment and activities. Some folks get professional family photos. Some folks give cameras to everybody. And now with the day and age, everybody's got a camera and they're taking pictures. At the end, you just send your pictures to maybe you've got a website. There are websites that have uniformity, that help you put reunions together, and where you can invite people and do a lot of stuff. We'll bring that back another time too. But there are opportunities in there. Remember, the storytelling. You get a lot of information, especially history, with those storytellings. And the Olympics, who can, who can't. And a lot of us, we all have something that we are specialists in, I'll say, or we aspire to do in our everyday lives. We are professionals, we are educators, we are legal teams, we are physicians. We need to do a networking. You need to do a networking. Let folks know who you are and what you do and help each other. And then we also are crafty. Yes, we might have a seamstress. Oh my goodness, those are in such short supply. But not only seamstry, but jewelry making and putting together the scrapbooks and putting together how we plan and have the program and whatnot. Of course, we all like to dance and hang out. So, how do we celebrate our generations? The elders, the 70 plus, those are our wisdom keepers. Yes. Uh, those, the builders, those who are 45 to 65, and that's about where I started really getting involved, is at 45. And then the rising, the innovators, those with those quick minds, and the trailblazers bringing fresh energy, and the seeds, those little ones that we have to instill in them, because they've got those fresh minds and those fresh bodies. Of course, we talk about having the photos of all the events, even when you're not having events, even when folks are just sitting around. We used to sit around in the lobby of the hotel and just chit chat. And we need pictures of those too. So check the to-do list before the reunion, RSVP date, the reunion dues. Yes, your contribution. Yes, because it is costly. And you have to have seed money to even start this. When you start planning the events, the venues. You got to have seed money. In some cases, you have to have insurance. You have to have equipment when you go there. It's a lot to it. Um, Booking the hotel and travel arrangements, planning how you are going to dress, who's cooking, registering, who's the children, who's attending. That's pretty much what you need to do. You need to know that, and you need to know more. This is just a short list. And during the registration, you got to check in who made it, who didn't make it, who made it and didn't pay, who's got to pay, who's bringing their money, how many children, the t-shirts, and the welcome bag, the guest book, the professional family photos, who's participating in what, who's doing what, and just moving along. These are some important attributes. Of course, the food. Everybody's going to be the best grill master, but we know who the best grill master is. Let folks do what they're good at. Some folks are good on the grill, some are good in the kitchen, some are good with the salads, some are good with going to the store and bringing it. But whoever is good at whatever, make sure you give that chore to somebody who's going to be there on time or early. Who's baking? And while you're doing this, maybe some caveat is to have the recipes, gather the recipes. So for the future, you could have a recipe book. And that, oh my goodness, that is such an awesome option and legacy, because grandma made the best carrot cake. But now who can repeat that? Everybody remembers the carrot cake, and they strive to have that carrot cake again, but nobody can prepare it like she can or like she could. So now what? We don't even have the recipe. But because grandma left the recipe, we do have it and we can share that. So that's very important. And you got to honor those attendees and those who weren't able to attend. The elders, the rising stars, the best cook, the best dressed, the newest edition, and the farthest traveler. We talked about that. And now our pledge, this is the pledge that this particular program created. We are one family, bound by blood, strengthened by love, and guided by the wisdom of our ancestors. We pledge to honor our elders, nurture our youth, and lift each other up in times of need. We carry the stories of those who came before us and plant seeds for those who will come after. Together, we are rooted. Together, we rise. Together, we are legacy. That is so true. Now, you come up with your own. Some families have their family crest, you know, the symbol, the emblem. They've created a family crest to move on. Some of them have family mottos. And here is the ending that you give in your program. Until we gather again, thank you for being a part of our family story. And you can stay connected by family group chats and social media, talking about the next reunion. We always, every city had a chapter, and there was a leader, a president, or someone who oversaw. And at the end of the last event, we would get together and just those leaders and decide where the next reunion was going to be. A lot of times we already knew where the next reunion was going to be, but that city would have to solidify that and accept that. And we would even give seed money to them so they could get started. So, knowing where you're going. Now, just like, do you know that the Super Bowl, they know where they're going to be in the next 5, 6 years? Why can't we? Are we any different or any better? They just have been planning it a little bit longer. But you should know where you want to go, and it doesn't have to be in the summertime. It could be in the wintertime. It doesn't have to be once a year. It could be twice a year. You can have different types of events. My thing is, have something. Don't wait until you don't have. You're missing that family member. Here it says family is like a forest. When you are outside, it's dense. When you're inside, you see that each tree has its place. And that's another African proverb: unity in diversity. I love it. 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 I so enjoy family reunions. Oh my goodness. I just can't say enough about how we come together in family reunions. I want to take this one last break and come back and kind of wrap up, and we'll go from there. I want to see what you think about family reunions. Leaders of nonprofits empowering worlds. Let's go.
But the vision that God gave me, I felt that it was time for me to step out and work on the vision that God gave me.
We need look no further. We have a unique voice. We have a unique talent pool.
Yeah. Okay. And that's one of the reasons I wrote the book, which is Breaking Free.
Yeah. Good.
Which is breaking free. It's through education. If people take time to read the difference between centralization and decentralization, understand that everything that they can do in their bank, they can do on a decentralized blockchain, then, and with that education, they get confidence and they do it, and they can start small. And when they start small and see that it works, then they can build and build and build on top. So that's the way. It's definitely has to be through education.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Through application. Education application, two things. Because what we have two things going on at the moment. The Breaking Free book is for the education side. Continuous education, we have a platform, an app called Trust Poly.
Okay.
And what happens is the ebook connects to the Trust Poly app.
Right.
The Trust Poly app has all the videos and training, and we add more videos to it, more training to it.
Okay.
And also, what we do, because of application is important, we also give them a wallet in there.
Right.
Not a wallet, an account, a crypto account in there, which we credit them 16 polls, which is a small amount of money.
Okay.
But they can actually, whenever they get people, they have a small little business they can run on it, which is whenever they have people that want to learn more about crypto, they recommend Breaking Free to them. And every time they recommend Breaking Free to them, they get another 16 polls. It's up to them. They can grow that organically. And we've written a smart contract for it.
Okay.
So it's on the blockchain.
Yeah.
So therefore everything's been done on the blockchain. So it's transparent, and people can see exactly what's happening there.
And then what do you think are you talked about the difference between centralization, decentralization, and what do you think are the other things that people need to learn about to kind of start embracing blockchain more wholeheartedly? Well,
you see, like I said, the other things are, people always want their money to grow. They always want to see how can they make money. How can I make money on blockchain? How can I make money? So they need to they need to understand they can make money. but they just have to learn more.
Right.
And our thing is learn more to earn more.
Yeah.
So things that they need to understand is like, if you look at the banking systems, you get interest. And interest, I don't know, it might be 1%, 2%, and so on. That can also happen on the decentralized system.
Okay. How do we fight against that?
Well, education.
All right. Well, you say, what does that have to do with family reunions? You're talking about legacy. We have to be on top of how we drive our family unit in order to survive this world. And there is a new money coming. I talked about change earlier and how the airport, the aviation changes regularly, how travel changes regularly, how your life changes on a regular basis. Well, this is part of life. Breaking free, finding out what it is about this new money. Are you having problems with checking accounts? Is your bank sometimes closed? Or you're not able to move money around? Or when you go to other countries, you have to change your money? It's a lot, and it's all inclusive of how money is run. So you're talking about how to be a part of this world and be proactive in your development. Education is the key. Breaking free is the key. You see my Breaking Free book back there? Yes, I read it. I'm learning. I go through the steps. I want you to go through the steps. It, I mean, the investment is like less than a small cup of Coke or coffee somewhere, but it's huge, the opportunity and the repercussions. So, what are you going to do? How are you going to? I hear people working 2, 3 jobs. Oh my God, I just pull my hair out when I see people having to struggle. I understand the struggle. I understand you have to have multiple streams of income in order to feed yourself, live somewhere. Some people is more, unfortunately, they can't afford a home, so now they have to spend $2, $3,000 for somebody else's property and still survive. Everything is increasing, and it's increasing more than it is decreasing. So once it gets up there, it's going to be there. What are you going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to find out by getting involved, finding additional streams of income where we don't have to go out and get on public transportation or drive from one spot to another. You know, create your own business. A lot of people were challenged with this tax day because they don't have their own business. They're not structured as a business. They're structured as working for someone, a job, just over broke, and then one job or two jobs, but they didn't have, where they could filter their money. They don't have an accountant, or they don't research. You can Google anything and find out almost everything. Being a travel advisor, it's most advantageous for you to do that. Let me tell you, let me get this. I got a comment. Let me see here. What is our female solution? We definitely need to be prepared to a new financial system that is not controlled by banks. All families also need to have a family emergency fund. Yes, you are correct. All families. I mean, just think about it. One of my subtopics was plan the family reunion before you have to plan a homegoing. And more homegoings. Thank you, Female Solution Naima, for that record there. But we have to have, what is it, the GoFundMe for those people who have passed on and the family can't afford because the insurance had to lapse because they couldn't afford to keep up with the insurance, the life insurance, or then they couldn't get any life insurance, or didn't think about how important life insurance are, even for the children, because we're losing folks all the time. Why wait? Why not build a legacy, a financial legacy? Get all the family involved. And if you want, just see me, contact me. I am at the Female Solution. Let me get my email right for you. I got to get my email right for you. You can certainly reach out to me anytime at Deborah dot the female solution at gmail.com. That's right. Deborah dot the female solution at gmail.com. Reach out to me. Let me know you're ready to break free or you want to get information. You might not be ready because you don't know about it and you just heard a little snippet, but you want to know more about it. It's free education. As far as what I'm going to give you, is free to talk to me. You don't have to pay to talk to me. You don't have to pay to talk to me about finding out how can I be a travel advisor. I can give you information on that. How you can be a meeting planner. How you can set up to be a family reunion planner. Let's get the niches down to minute squares. Yes, there are so many opportunities for you to have your own business, your own consulting business, and you just letting the money go out to somebody else. Somebody's got to do it. Why not you? Now, none of what I'm going to share with you is get rich quick. Mm-mm. I don't do that. I don't. I don't get rich quick. You lose quick. And don't let anybody tell you that it will be a get rich quick. But what you have to do is have your due diligence. You have to have your timing in order and for you to make sure that you get things together. So contact me. I got to go. But let me tell you, suicide is real. Please, please, please reach out. Please, please, please. 988 988 suicides. You, if you think you're having something, we losing too many children. We're losing too many adults. Too many. You don't understand the trauma you put the family through. Also, human trafficking is real. Watch yourself. They're putting all kinds of tags in your car, on your doorknob, all kinds of stuff everywhere. Please, please, please be aware of what's going on. Be aware of what's going on. Let me tell you, tomorrow's third Sunday. From seeds to systems. Yes, from seeds to systems with our own sister Cicely McClennan will be here 12 noon. I want to make sure that you're here. I'm so blessed that you joined us today at the Female Solution. Move around with the board. Thank you. 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 I say, and I say again, it was a pleasure. But now I have to go. But we are on a rerun. So if you want to see me again, if you want to talk about it again, please don't hesitate. And remember, Deborah.thefemalesolution@gmail.com. God bless you all. Be safe in your travels, and we will see you next time. Love.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jareh. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.